skill.
Step 3, activate the skill by saying, Alexa, play WTIM News Talk.
That's all there is to it.
And to stop the WTIM stream, just say, Alexa, stop.
WTIM News Talk, now on the Amazon Alexa app.
WTIM. Good morning, Central Illinois, and welcome to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and it is the final countdown before the Christian County Fair. It opens up July 21st. That's a Tuesday. That's 12 days away. And that means we got to talk a little bit about the fair and just have a little reminder of all the exciting things that are going to be going on there. And I have two guests here with me who are going to tell me about all of that. On my left, we've got the Marketing and Promotions Director for the Christian County Fair. You know who she is, Angela Ohl-Marsters. Angela, welcome back.
Thank you for having us. It's fair time.
Yes, it sure is. And can't wait for that. And also can't wait to hear about everything that's going to be going on there. I want to introduce our other guest as well. He is Caleb May, a sales enablement specialist at Farm Credit Illinois, one of the sponsors of the Christian County Fair. Caleb, welcome along.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yes, it's good to have you in as well. Caleb, we'll get to you in a little bit. I want to start with Angela because, we're 12 days away from the start of the fair, and it starts, of course, with that ribbon cutting. Remind our listeners what they should know about that.
Yes, the ribbon cutting will be on Tuesday, July 21st, starting at 10 a.m. in front of the fair office. So that's the official kickoff of the fair. But of course, the kickoff of the fair happens in the livestock barns a little bit earlier than that. So we'll let the farm credit specialist talk to us about that.
Oh, yeah. You want to share more about that?
About the livestock shows and
Yeah, about the livestock shows, or what she kind of tossed you to.
Yeah, no, our kids show livestock, and it's the favorite part of the week. So there's a lot going on back in the livestock barns, and Farm Credit's a part of that too. You know, not just part of the fair, but we also partner up with the county 4-H and help out with the auction on Thursday night and things like that, and like to be a part of just about everything.
Yeah, and that of course is really a big part of the fair. I know, Angela, you've mentioned a lot about that too. So you've got the livestock shows during that part of the fair. I know something else that a lot of folks are looking forward to with respect to the fair this year is that concert that is happening on Friday. Any last remarks you want to give about that? Before we get into the fair? Well,
of course, Gary Allen and Mark Chestnut, Friday, July 24th, starting at 7:30 p.m. You can get into the gates at 6 p.m. And we still have just a couple VIP tickets left for VIP ticket sponsors. Tickets are going very, very well. If you are interested, you can go to www.christiancountyfair.com, and there's still some track tickets left. There's just a few grandstand tickets left, but how exciting to come on out to the fair and get to see, live artists right here in Christian County, and all thanks to our sponsors and to the great folks of Christian County and the surrounding area that support the fair. And if it wasn't for those folks, we obviously would not be able to offer such great activities for the community.
Exactly. A lot of moving parts there, making it all happen. And hey, Gary Allen and Mark Chestnut, they're a couple of well-known names in 90s country music. So you've got that right there. And of course, 90s country music is when country became cool.
Country's cool.
Yeah, in the music scene. So I've listened to plenty of their work as well. And then we'll get to certainly Friday night, the Friday of the fair week. So that part of it is just over 2 weeks away. So oh my gosh, it's so soon coming up. So grandstand almost full for that. You've also got a couple other grandstand events happening Wednesday and Thursday. Remind our listeners of those.
Well, you can't miss the stock car race if you're a car fan. So we've got a lot of new categories going on with that. They've added some categories, so you can also check that out on the website. And then on Thursday, we have a new event called the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pull. So use your imagination yourself. It should be a fun time in the grandstand. Bring your family, come out early, enjoy the midway, enjoy the food, the carnival rides. Come on through the expo building to the Western Style Show and the Prairieland Dancers. It's going to be a great time.
It sounds like it with all the grandstand events, and I think that new truck and tractor pull. I mean, I know tractor pulls are kind of a standard thing, but then you added the truck component of that, which I know you talked about. I think the last time you were in studio, so that's really cool, and I think that's going to be a big draw. For the fair. And I know you have a lot of traditions with the fair, right? Like with the livestock shows, with some of the events, and then you bring in something new. How important is it to have some of those newer events and kind of change things up?
Well, the Christian County Fair Board, Jeremy Tucker and the folks that serve on the board, and, they take note of what people in the community are wanting. And it's very important to keep the historical events at the fair, but also to go with the times and go with tradition. And we try to strive to have something for everyone at the Christian County Fair. So if you're a livestock person, or if you're not, maybe you want to go see all the different, shows that are going on. If you're somebody that's a car person, you can come into the grandstand, watch the stock car race, or the demo, derby, of course. Don't forget that on Saturday night, 6:00, $13,000 purse. So it's a great event. But then there's lots of other things, and it's free parking, free gate. So you can come out to Community Day Vendor Fair. You can do the car cruise. It's important to bring new events to the fair, and the Fair Board has been very instrumental in doing that over the past several years.
And do you find that you get good attendance, at some of those new events, the first time they're put on?
We have great events and great attendance at the events, and it's all, again, thanks because of our sponsors. And as far as attendance goes, like, for example, we added the Community Day Vendor Fair a few years ago. We have a full house every year, and this year we're probably going to be a little bit overflowing. So we're excited about that. That happens on Wednesday night from 4 until 8. We can still squeeze you in if you call early. You have to call 217-820-1690. But people do come out. They want to see what's going on at Christian County Fair. And hey, we set the stage, right?
Yeah, you certainly are setting the stage. You're doing it right now as well, in terms of talking about all the great things that are going to be happening at the Christian County Fair. Something else you were going to mention, and I don't think you had gotten to it yet, at least on this part of the show, mercantile vendors. It sounds like that's going to be a thing at the vendor fair. Talk about that.
Well, the heart and soul of Christian County are farmers and folks, that we like to recognize that. And so we have a lot of homestead, vendors that want to come out and show off what they do at their homestead. And I think that it's very interesting for people to learn about things like that. So you're going to have a flow over of vendors from Wednesday night, but they're going to flow into Thursday, and they're going to be new vendors, folks that do, things out on the farm, such as, Milkmaid, Mercantile. They're also going to be there as kind of our head runner for that. So it's very important to showcase what the farms do here in Christian County.
Yeah, and I feel like, so you've got some people coming on Wednesday and then others coming on Thursday.
Correct.
Is that just because there wasn't space to have them all in at the same time the entire time, or?
Well, space can be an issue, but it wasn't so much space. It's more that we want to showcase what the farm is about in Christian County and the surrounding area. So we wanted to specialize and segment out that section so that people knew that, hey, when I come here, I can get these products, and I can also enjoy the Prairieland Dancers at 6:00 on the stage, and then I can watch a Western Style Show, and I can go see all the great things going on in Christian County with the farming.
Yeah, I mean, still, even if you have even if the space is not an issue, the fact that you have as many mercantile vendors that you have those different segments, that's got to be a great problem to have.
Oh, it's definitely not a problem. It's a great thing that I feel happens in Christian County.
Yeah. No, I was going to mention the problem thing if the space factor were a factor, but it's not. So yeah, I agree, and not really much of a problem there. Anything else you want to mention about the vendor fair or community day or anything like that before we move on?
Just come on out to the fair and join us for the fun, and bring your family out. It's a great time.
It sounds like a great time, and I look forward to it as well. I'm talking right now with Angela Ohl-Marsters, Marketing and Promotions Director for the Christian County Fair, and Caleb May, a Sales Enablement Specialist at Farm Credit Illinois. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to learn more about Caleb's side of things and what to expect from Farm Credit Illinois right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Got driveway problems? Is grass creeping into your rocks and rocks ending up in your grass? Tired of fighting it year-round? Call Cousin Bill. We stop loose rocks for good, so your driveway stays neat, clean, and low maintenance. No more mess, no more hassle, just results that last. Call 217-788-7777 for your free estimate today, or visit
ilepaving.com.
Double your impact with sight and sound. Reach customers through our 6 regional radio stations. Plus, capture their attention with our 36 by 72-inch digital billboard right on Route 29 in Taylorville. That's nearly 11,000 drivers seeing your message every single day while they're already listening to your radio ads. Ready to maximize your reach? Call your regional radio account manager today and put your business in front of eyes and ears across Central Illinois. Regional radio is where your message gets noticed.
There's only one Central Illinois radio station that brings you the memories of the 60s and early 70s as you are cruising down the streets of your hometown. The dial position is 98.3 FM. The station is 98.3 WSVZ. From Macon to Vandalia and I-55 to I-57, cruising 98.3 plays the hits from early Elvis in the 60s to the British invasion of the Beatles, Herman's Hermits, and many more from the 1960s. Then we swing into the early half of the 1970s with artists like the Guess Who, the Doobie Brothers, and Elton John. Every song brings back something you remember about growing up. Set a button and crank up the station, playing good time rock and roll from the Tower of Power, cruising 98.3 WSVZ.
WTIM listeners from Witt to Shelbyville and Awanaco to Ramsey can now hear your information station even clearer at a new place on the FM dial. WTIM now has an additional dial position at 107.9, transmitting at some 280 feet from a tower on the south edge of Pana. Hear the latest local news and agriculture information, swap shop, and more in southern Christian, northern Fayette, and eastern Montgomery counties from WTIM. Even better now at 107.9 FM. Set a button on your radio for WTIM in the Pana area now at 107.9 FM.
Perry Stampa here, owner of Central Illinois Truck Service, just off I-70 in Greenville. Let us repair your diesel engines with state-of-the-art equipment, a brand new facility, and certified technicians. Find out more by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
SIU Center for Family Medicine is here to help with back-to-school and sports physicals. Healthy kids learn better and play harder. Call 217-824-1134 today to schedule your appointment. That's 217-824-1134. SIU Medicine. Forward for you.
WTIM.
We're back on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, and the show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and my guests in this part of the show have been Angela Ohl-Marsters, Marketing and Promotions Director for the Christian County Fair, and Caleb May, Sales Enablement Specialist at Farm Credit Illinois. And I said that middle word correctly this time, so I'm happy about that. And I want to learn a little bit more about what goes on with Farm Credit Illinois from Caleb May. So yeah, first just talk a little bit about what Farm Credit Illinois does overall.
Yeah, Farm Credit Illinois, we serve the southern 60 counties of Illinois. We've got 14 regional offices, one right here in Taylorville, where we serve Christian and Montgomery counties specifically out of this office. We're a farmer-owned cooperative, which is what makes us somewhat unique. One of the missions that we have as a co-op is to support the rural community, specifically the ag community, whether that's 4-H, FFA, other agricultural events in the community, which leads us to the Christian County Fair to be a sponsor of the fair and be involved in the fair. We all know that the county fairs in this country are the heartbeat of the rural lifestyle, of the rural economy and ag itself. You know, county fairs go back forever, and it's just a really important part to be involved in county fairs, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, and then would you happen to know how long Farm Credit Illinois has been around?
Farm Credit Illinois has been around since 1916.
Okay.
When the United States Congress authorized the Farm Credit Act. So we are authorized to operate under U.S. Congressional Farm Credit Act. So
Okay.
we've been around for a really long time, and we serve every county in the country.
Yeah, no, 110 years. So 2016 had to have been a big year for you. 100
Yes,
years.
we did celebrate the
Getting-
100 years.
Yeah.
Correct.
And is it safe to say that you folks have been involved in county fairs as long as both you folks and county fairs have existed?
I wouldn't go on record saying yes, but I would suspect that
Yeah.
we have to some degree.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
and just considering what you folks do. So yeah, in terms of working with farmers, people kind of connected to the ag industry, what on like a a finer level in terms of products and services does that look like?
Yeah, so just a Cliff Note version of what we do is we make farm real estate loans to agricultural producers and landowners. We make operating loans to ag producers, and we make equipment loans. So we are an ag lender. We have a full suite of products, whether that's real estate, operating, equipment. We also have a rural home mortgage product line called Rural First, where we can lend to say somebody who's got a 5 or an 8 acre parcel in the country with a shed, a horse barn, or hunting ground, recreational property, those types of things that aren't necessarily production ag ground. So yeah, in a nutshell, we have just a whole suite of products to make loans to ag producers and landowners.
Okay, so then when it comes to these loans, like so I mean, I would definitely imagine that like a new farmer, someone kind of like buying land, would need a loan. Now for like established farmers, say they're buying large equipment, is that something where you folks typically would come into play?
Yeah, we work with farmers who've been established for 20, 30, 40, even 50 years. Okay. We work with somebody who this might be their first crop. And that's, one of the things that I really like about Farm Credit is the involvement we have with our young and beginning farmers. I would call it our flagship program, which is our Fresh Roots program, something we're really proud of. We started the Fresh Roots program in 2018. So not quite 10 years into this program, but it specifically is designed for young and beginning. And I say, and it's actually young or beginning farmers. So farmers who are 40 years or younger, or who have been farming for 10 years or less, regardless of age. It's a really awesome program to help them get started, help them get their feet on the ground, help them learn about just ag economics in general, the ag lending process. We've got different key parts of our Fresh Roots program. We've got discounted interest rates. We offer learning incentives. So we will offer cash rewards or incentives for folks to come to different learning programs to help learn about farm financials, estate planning, things that go along with being a young and beginning farmer. We also offer some recognition. We have a recognition program, and some of you might have seen here in the last week or so, we just announced our Director Cup winners. We actually had one from Christian County, Bryce Brocklesby. So that was kind of a neat thing to have some recognition for our young and beginning farmer program right here in Christian County.
Yeah, no, that's really cool with both of those. And I was telling you, Caleb, earlier that actually that story about the Director's Cup ended up in our news rotation for today. So that was actually really convenient in terms of that timing. Going back to your Fresh Roots program and working with young and beginning farmers, or I guess young or beginning farmers, like you mentioned, when I hear that, it sounds like kind of an investment in the future of agriculture and in the people who are involved in that. We have about 90 seconds to go. Was that kind of the thinking behind it?
That's absolutely what it is. It's not just something to say, hey, let's give these guys an easier path. This is a harder path. It's hard for somebody to step into production agriculture today. We all know how high the input costs are, and commodity prices are the same as they were 10 years ago. So the margins in ag are really, really tight. And for somebody new, it's a really hard thing to do. So yeah, for us to invest in the future, I mean, just for Farm Credit to be relevant 30 years from now, those are the people that we're going to have to invest in now to continue forward, just with ag in general, not just Farm Credit Illinois. But you're absolutely right. It's an investment in the future, and it is an investment. When we discount interest rates, we offer learning incentives, we offer all these different things for these young and beginning farmers to go to. It's a monetary investment that we make.
Yep, it's an investment, and then I'm sure the same would be true as well for, your involvement in the Christian County Fair, which is, of course, a big part of our conversation this morning. Starting things off, that Christian County Fair, 12 days away, July 21st through the 25th. A lot of great events going on. Of course, the concert on Friday. I cannot wait for that. I've been talking with Angela Ohl-Marsters, Marketing and Promotions Director for the Christian County Fair, and Caleb May, Sales Enablement Specialist at Farm Credit Illinois. Angela and Caleb, thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville.
96.1 FM Taylorville.
107.5 FM Shelbyville.
107.9 FM